Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna work on this Queen's Cross bracelet. This is already existing tutorial. I will leave a link in the description box if you haven't done it yet. So it's just really petite small cross earrings. Well, not so small, but they're not extremely big either, and they're very lightweight, and it's just really pretty to look at. So I decided to make a matching bracelet. I used a bigger, here I used 4mm fire polished round Czech beads. Here I used 6mm, so they are bigger. And because I didn't want the sides to be flapping, I added some big head pins as well to keep those in place. So you see it doesn't move, this one. So once you wear it, it stays there. And to keep the shape of the cross, I used two different colors, because if you keep continuing doing this green, it will not look like a cross. It will just look like a green bracelet with a weird sticky bead on the side. So I decided to keep the cross shape and then add a different color of beads. And for the clasp, I used here a spring ring clasp, I think that's what you call it. And this is not new either. This is from my old recycling project where it used to be part of an old necklace. So it's good to recycle sometimes, you know, save your money as well. And so for the materials, you need two different colors of 6mm Czech fire polished round beads. For the main color, I'm gonna use this royal blue, and then for the side, I'm gonna use frosty white. Instead of gold, I decided to use some silver. I have no idea what brand these are, but I'm guessing they are Miyuki or Toho, because they look quite similar to this. Here I used Toho, so I'm just gonna try to use this up. Hopefully it will be enough. Then you will need a clasp. I just decided to use one lobster clasp here to keep things simple. Then you'll need two long head pins. Let me see how long they are. So they are approximately 6 centimeters, I think. Yeah, a little more than 5 centimeters. 2-inch head pins. So you will need that to keep this sides in place. You don't have to do that. I mean, if you're okay with it flapping, it's up to you, but I decided to be a bit creative and use head pins. Then you're gonna need beading thread. I decided to use gray, you know, because I'm using totally different colors of beads. I can't really use black because it will show here. I can't use white because it will show here. So it is always nice to compromise and go for gray, which is quite subtle color. Here I used gray, and look, you can't really see it. Well, you can see it when you look at it, but from far it just blends. So gray Nymo beading thread, beading needle size 10. I'm gonna need scissors to cut the thread, and to add those head pins, I'm gonna need cutting pliers and chain nose pliers. So that's all the materials you need. Thread your needle at comfortable length. First we're gonna do this middle point, and then we're just gonna add this sides. You know, you'll just keep adding units on both sides until you have your required length to go around your wrist, and then we're gonna add the clasp. So I thread my needle with 2 yards. One thing I forgot to mention is you'll need a stop bead. You can use any bead you have, really. So I'm gonna leave a tail of about 6 inch, enough to sew it in later, and then take my needle through one more time. So let me explain how we're gonna go. We're gonna start at the top, get here, add this side, and go down. So my tail is gonna be here. So I used for this whole unit 2 yards, and then on both sides I had to add extra 1.5 yards to add both sides. So in total I used 4 or 5 yards. So it's up to you how much length you want to take, but I just want to do this side, and I'm just gonna add thread to finish off this sides. So we're gonna start at the top. I'm gonna need 4 fire polished beads. Remember, we're using 6mm. I'm gonna drop it down to my stop bead. Usually when I work with right angle weave, I reinforce once. Well, you know, I turn it into a circle, reinforce once, so my needle usually goes 2 times through the beads. But because we are using 6mm beads and they're quite heavy, I'm gonna reinforce twice, so my thread goes around those beads 3 times. So I'm gonna take my needle through all those beads once to turn it into a circle. and here I'm gonna go through one more bead. So here my thread has gone through all those beads 2 times already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and reinforce it one more time. So just go through all those beads. It also depends on what kind of thread you're using. I know a lot of people, especially in States, use Fireline, and you probably don't need to reinforce as many times, but I like working with Nymo, and Nymo is not as strong as Fireline, so I tend to reinforce my work quite a lot. Plus we are using such big beads that, you know, they have huge holes in them, so you know, you're not gonna run out of space. And then before we proceed adding next unit, we're gonna add the cross on top. So I'm gonna pick up 9 50-nose, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Just make sure you picked up 9 5 4. And then here I have to put it diagonally, so it will be here. I can go here or here, so I'm just gonna go up this way, pull my needle through, let it lie across like that, then pick up 4 50-nose, and we have to add it here. So to do that, I'm gonna go through the middle bead, which will be the 5th bead from both sides if you count it. So that's the number 5. So I have 4 beads left on this side, 4 beads left on this side, and pull my needle through. It's a bit wonky before you finish it. And then I'm gonna pick up 4 beads, 4 50-nose, and finish off this side. I'll just go here. And then once you have all your 50-nose, you can just, you know, help them settle in place. Pull your needle nice and tight, and that's what you have. That's what we're gonna do on top of each unit. So I'm gonna pick up 3 6-0s, 3 6mm, add it here, and reinforce twice. Just go through all those beads twice. That's once, and one more time. And now it's time to add the cross on top. So I'm gonna pick up 9 50-nose. Just make sure to count. That's 8, 9, and then put it diagonally. So I'm just gonna go, let's say here, pick up 4 50-nose, go across through the middle here, 4 beads on this side, 4 beads on this side, and 4 more 50-nose. And then go here. Then once you have everything in place, you can just help the beads settle on top of your unit. And that's it. And just go ahead, same way, add 1 more unit. So I added 1 more unit, and now it's time to go to the sides. So all I do, depending where my thread is, it's easier to go to this side and add 2 units here. So all you do is just pick up 3 6mm, add right angle weave unit here, and then all you do, reinforce twice, add the cross on top, and then add 1 more unit on this side, right angle weave unit, add the cross on top. And now that I have this side finished, I have to take my needle to this side and add 2 units here. And if you're lost, this is what we are. See, we have this unit, we have these 2 units. So I'm just gonna take my needle there and add these 2 units. So to do that, all I have to do is just go through the 6 mm beads to where I'm supposed to be. Just make sure you're going through existing paths and not creating new. And that's where we need to be here. Then here you pick up 3 6 mm's, add right angle weave unit. Then you reinforce it twice, add the cross on top, add another right angle weave unit, reinforce, add the cross on top. And now I finished this side, I just have to finish off the cross. So all I do is just take my needle to this bit here. You know, I can just go across the cross here, the cross stitch on top. Will allow me to do a shortcut. Go down here. And here, that's where I'm supposed to be. And again, I just pick up 3 6 mm's, add it with right angle weave unit, reinforce, add the cross on top, and then add 3 more units. So you want to have 4 in total. So that's 1 2 3 4. You started 1, add 3 more, add the crosses on top, and meet me back here. So as you can see, I finished the cross, I added the cross stitch on top, and now from here I just take my second color of fire polish and keep on adding units on both sides until I have the required length. So here all I do, now that I finished the main part, pick up 3 6 mm fire polished beads, different color, reinforce twice, and then I think I have to get rid of this tail, add a new thread, and continue adding right angle weave units. Same I'm gonna do here, get rid of this tail, add a new thread, keep on adding units until I have required length. Make sure you leave space for your clasp. And if you noticed, on this part, I didn't add cross stitch on top. I just left that for the main part, so you know you have definite figure of cross, and then this part is just like embellishment for that cross to go around your wrist. So you can add that 15 crosses on top if you want. I decided not to. I think it looks pretty without it, so I will leave that up to you. So once you have your required length, I'm gonna show you how to add the clasp. And now as you can see, I'm almost done. I went ahead, added the 6 units here and added the loop one on this side. I don't have to add anything here because I'm gonna use my lobster clasp. Basically like this. So all I need to do is do the same process on this side but add the lobster clasp in between. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna take my needle to the top. The process of adding the lobster clasp will be exactly the same as to this side. The only difference will be on top, here I picked up 13 50-nose. Here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick up 6 50-nose. And then my lobster clasp, drop it down, and then I'm gonna pick up 6 50-nose. So that's the only difference I did here. Instead of using 13 50-nose like here, I used 6 50-nose lobster clasp 6 50-nose. So basically I changed 1 50-nose to lobster clasp. And then take it through the top 6 mm one more time. And now I just have to go through all those beads one more time. It's tricky with small beads. Don't forget the lobster clasp in between. And then here, I'm gonna make sure I pull my thread nice and tight, like this. I'm gonna pick up 250 nose, and then I'm gonna go down 6 mm on the side, like this. Come back round. Pick up 250 nose, and then go up through the 50 nose. And that's what it looks like. So you're gonna go ahead, take your needle through all those beads one more time, going round, and go around the beads, make a couple knots, and get rid of the tail. And now that we are done adding the clasp and everything, all we have left is just reinforce this part. See, this is quite flappy. I don't like that, so I'm gonna use headpins to straighten it. That's what I did here. So you can barely see, here's one side of the headpin, here's another one. So I'm using ball headpins, so less visible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this from one side and take it through the beads. That's simple. That's it. And then I'm gonna take the second one on this side. Some places might be tight, but just make sure you do it slowly, not to cut the thread. And that's it. And now I just have to get rid of the sides, and how I do that, see where it is. I'm gonna make sure it's all nice and straight. I'm gonna cut this approximately around this place. And then I'm gonna take my chain nose pliers and bend it, this one. See? Like almost 90 degrees. And then I'm gonna take it slowly here. Might be a bit tricky. Sometimes you have to make it shorter. But basically I'm gonna stick this end to the inside of that 6 mm on this side. So it might be a bit tricky, but I can get it done. I think it's too long, so I'm gonna cut it a bit more. And that's it. And the end there is inside 6 mm and it's not gonna come out. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So cut it like this, bend it, and then turn it around, and then take it into the inside of the 6 mm. I might have to cut it a bit more. That's it. It's inside. And we're done. So here's one, here's the second, and here are the matching earrings. You can, well, they're not exactly matching. This is green and this is teal, but you can use matching color of fire polished beads to get a whole set. You could turn this into a pendant just using this part, or you could use this as a small pendant, so depending, you know, what kind of sizes you like here. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it wasn't too hard. I know this part is a bit tricky. You don't have to do that, but you know, I'm a bit OCD about my jewelry, and I like everything nice and sturdy when it comes to shapes and stuff. So, and this headpins will keep the shape, so when you wear it, you know, it stays the shape. So thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for more. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.